Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Learn English with podcast. This is episode 31, and today we're diving into our Level 6 content. I hope you're all ready because today's episode is going to be fun, engaging, and packed with learning opportunities. So, grab your headphones, sit back, and let's get started. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where nothing seems to go right? Maybe you spilled your coffee, missed the bus, or forgot your keys at home. Yeah, we've all been there. But do you know what makes those days a little brighter? A good story and some laughter. So, today, I'm going to tell you a funny story about my friend John. John is one of those people who always seems to have something interesting going on in his life. One day, he had a particularly chaotic morning. He woke up late because his alarm didn't go off. Has that ever happened to you? It's the worst feeling, isn't it? Anyway, John rushed out of bed, skipped breakfast, and hurried to get dressed. In his haste, he accidentally put on mismatched socks. He didn't realize this until much later in the day. As he was about to leave, he couldn't find his keys. Panic set in. He searched everywhere under the couch, in the bathroom, even in the fridge. Can you believe that? Who looks for keys in the fridge? After what felt like an eternity, he finally found them in his jacket pocket. Relieved, he grabbed them and dashed out the door. Have you ever had a morning like that? What's the strangest place you've found your keys? Take a moment to think about it. These little moments of chaos are what make life interesting and give us great stories to share. Now, John's day didn't just stop being chaotic. When he got to work, he realized he had left an important document at home. Instead of panicking again, he took a deep breath and thought about his options. He called his colleague and asked if they could email him a copy. Problem solved. This is a great example of staying calm and thinking through a problem. Did you know that the word chaos comes from a Greek word meaning abyss or void? It originally referred to the formless state of the universe before the creation of the cosmos. Interesting, right? English has so many words with fascinating origins. It's like a treasure hunt discovering where words come from. All right, let's break things up with a little riddle. Here it goes. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I? Think about it for a moment. Got it? It's an echo. Isn't language amazing? It's full of mysteries and little puzzles like this. Let's take a moment to highlight some vocabulary from today's story. Haste, quickness or speed in doing something. For example, in his haste, he forgot his wallet. Mismatched, not matching, not similar. For example, she wore mismatched socks by accident. Panic, a sudden overwhelming fear. For example, he felt panic when he couldn't find his keys. Back to John's story. After dealing with the missing document, John thought he was in the clear. But lunchtime brought a new challenge. He decided to try a new restaurant. The place had great reviews, and John was excited. However, when he got there, the menu was entirely in a foreign language. Has that ever happened to you? It can be quite the adventure. John didn't let this deter him. He used his phone to translate the menu. He pointed at a dish that looked interesting and hoped for the best. When the food arrived, it turned out to be a delicious surprise. Sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone leads to the best experiences. Have you ever tried something new and had it turn out differently than you expected? Maybe you tried a new food or visited a new place. Share your experiences with us. It's always fun to hear your stories. Idioms are a fun part of any language. They are expressions where the meaning isn't obvious from the individual words. Here are a few related to today's story. A blessing in disguise, something good that isn't recognized at first. For example, losing his job was a blessing in disguise because he found a better one. Burning the midnight oil, staying up late working or studying. For example, she was burning the midnight oil to finish her project. Bite the bullet, to endure a painful situation bravely. For example, he had to bite the bullet and apologize. Now, let me tell you another funny anecdote. This one is about my neighbor, Alice. Alice decided to start a garden. She had never grown anything before, but she was determined. She bought seeds, soil, and all the necessary tools. However, Alice didn't realize that her new puppy loved digging. Every time she planted something, her puppy would dig it up. Can you imagine? It was a constant battle between Alice and her puppy. One day, Alice had an idea. She planted a decoy garden just for the puppy. It worked. The puppy focused on the decoy, and Alice's real garden finally started to grow. Sometimes, thinking outside the box is the best solution. All right, let's do a quick interactive exercise. I am going to say a sentence, and I want you to repeat it. This helps with pronunciation and fluency. Ready? Learning English can be fun and exciting. Great! Now, try this one. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn. Excellent! Keep practicing these sentences. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become. Let's talk about a quick grammar tip, the use of since and for. We use since to refer to a specific point in time. For example, I have lived here since 2010. We use for to refer to a duration of time. For example, I have lived here for 10 years. Understanding these small differences can really improve your fluency. As we come to the end of today's episode, I hope you've had fun and learned something new. Remember, learning a language is a journey. There will be challenges, but there will also be plenty of rewarding moments. Keep practicing, stay curious, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are just stepping stones to success. Here's your homework for the week. Try to use the new vocabulary words in your conversations. Share a funny story or anecdote in English with a friend or family member. Practice the idioms we discussed today. Feel free to share your stories and experiences with us. We love hearing from you. That's all for today's episode. Thank you for joining me on this English learning adventure. Remember to subscribe to our podcast and leave a review if you enjoyed today's episode. Stay tuned for more exciting and educational content. Until next time, keep learning and keep smiling. Goodbye, everyone.